for us. And we're live. All right. Welcome back, gentlemen. Welcome back, everyone, to the Be Warmed and Be Filled podcast. We're back. First up, new podcast of the new year. And depending on the time you're hearing this, it might not be too new, but that's neither here nor there. We got everyone here though. We got all the guys, all the gang, all the bros. We got Wes.
So,
We got Ace.
Yo.
We got Ghost.
it's good.
We got myself, Questlando, the one and only. How y'all feeling? How y'all doing?
You damn near sabotaged the podcast with the intro. You switch me and West.
What you mean? I never.
It actually almost threw me off because like
I don't think I do it in order. Do I?
I'm
You
pretty
do.
sure you
I
always
think you
do
do,
me
actually.
first for some reason.
I don't want to give away some of the behind the mirrored magic, but I kind of just go based off the list of who's in Zencaster. So maybe you're just always here first. I guess I'll go in order. Aside from that, though.
Yeah, I'm good.
Yeah. Can't complain.
Yeah,
I mean, I
chilling.
can, but I won't.
Not a bad intro. Not a bad mindset to have. I could, but I won't. Before we get into the topics, is there anything that we want to get off our chest? Anything we want to get off our hearts?
Oh, I streamed earlier.
Like on Twitch?
Yeah.
Yo, why aren't you giving people heads up?
Yeah, I'll get better at that. Yeah, it was just for an hour. I actually had somebody in there though. This dude I've watched his stream. I actually watched his stream earlier today. So yeah, he hopped in mine.
There you go, making connects through Twitch. I
Mhm.
guess the moral of the story is, yes, we have our very own Twitch streamer in the podcast. Shout it out. Where can they find you?
Yeah, Twitch. You can just search Zebulon5. ZEBULUN5.
There you go. I mean, let's not get too deep into it because it's still early. But where are you playing?
I was playing Bayonetta, which I'm probably gonna be playing a lot of starting off. But yeah, it was dope because a lot of times I'll get pretty tilted in this game, but I was able to make progress, and I think it was because I had somebody watching. It got me out of my own head a little bit.
Man, I've been saying that for years, and people just laugh me out the park. It's a different experience when you're playing with people, even if you're not technically there. They're just,
Yeah.
That's dope.
Yeah, it was nuts. Like I actually made legitimate progress in the game.
There you go. That's dope as hell. Anybody else?
On the thread of gaming adjacent stuff, this is super dumb, but I reached the highest rank in Halo Infinite, which is something.
Jeez.
Wait. Oh, okay. Highest rank, like in the. How does it work on Halo? I'm not too familiar.
They have like about 6 tiers of ranks, and you just gotta play through. If you're trash, you're ranked low. If you're good, you're ranked high.
Okay. Is
I've
it like
gotten good enough.
what is it? Reach ranks? I think. Maybe?
I don't know. I didn't play a whole lot of ranked and reach, but it's not like levels. It's more so like matchmaking.
Oh, nice.
But yeah, now that I'm done with that, I'm probably gonna chill out because I've been playing a lot of it lately.
So
But yeah, that's all.
So basically, without saying it, because I know you probably won't, you're nasty at Halo. You get to the point.
Yeah. Yes.
There we go. Hey man, that was dope. Maybe one day we can get a Halo Twitch stream going. Don't listen to me. I'm just talking right now. Although I do got big ideas in terms of streaming for us. One day, maybe.
Yeah, we can talk about it more later, but I was actually thinking, I don't know if anybody's interested, but Left 4 Dead is on Steam for Windows and Mac, so it's possible we could get a whole co-op campaign going in that.
Left 4 Dead's that zombie joint, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I vaguely remember that. Yeah, we can talk about it, most definitely. And as for me, I want to keep this relatively brief so we can get into topics as soon as possible. But and I think I talked about this a bit with y'all, or maybe with just Wes. But it's still relatively new year. People are still adjusting to making sure they're writing 2022 on all their documentation. So this is still valid to say. And some people are probably even still saying Happy New Year, even though I think that's one of the most pointless things after is actually the first of the respective year. In previous years, when the new calendar year comes in, you see a lot of people, on the bandwagon, if you will, of I'm going to completely revamp my life. After the new year, I'm gonna leave behind all the negativity and trauma, and I'm gonna move towards a place of healing and peace and all that good stuff. And I've always kind of had the mind. I'm not just alone on this, but I've always had the mindset of like, well, I mean, if you were still on all the negativity and BS 2 weeks ago, it's probably not going to change once the calendar flips. And well, that may, I guess, to get to the moral of the story, I'm gonna stop having that mind frame, or at least try to, because it's just not productive. Even though if you just look at it kind of like from a numbers game, like most people probably won't make much change into their life just because of a year changing. It doesn't negate the fact that there's nothing inherently wrong with people having the mindset that things will get better. So yeah, and I'm definitely not gonna be raining on anybody's parade, because that's just unnecessary negativity that I am not with. Yeah.
So what you're saying is you're gonna be like that sister that's walking up the stairs at the beginning of the new year in heels.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Well, that's what I was talking about. Like in the past, everybody, many women would repost that, and they're like, "Yeah, this is about to be me." And good and well, you're actually not walking up the stairs. You're kind of just on a flat surface. But it's fine. Yeah, I'm all for people at the very least believing that things will get better. Change gonna come. Yes.
On that note, I will say my recommendation is check your budgets, get your finances right. Make it a good year.
Yeah, no, that's real talk. People are talking about all the change that they want to do and will do, and when the calendar year changes, that's definitely something that everyone could look into. And speaking of that, that reminds me. So y'all know that we usually do recommendations of content or things. Yeah, mainly just content. Things that we could recommend to people, and we usually do at the end of the podcast. But now we're actually gonna try doing it at the beginning. And Wes already, I'm pretty sure he gave his. So does anyone else have any recommendations outside of music, of course? Or anything they want to speak on? Any other thing they want to speak on before we get to topics?
I do. I have a recommendation. I watched Arcane on Netflix. It's
Is that the Apex joint?
League of Legends.
League of Legends, my bad. Sorry.
Yeah,
all those games look alike.
Yeah. Dog, that show was one of the best shows I've ever seen. Like,
wait, what is happening? What is this?
It's a show.
Yeah, it's a
Based off
show
League of Legends.
based off of League of Legends. Yeah.
Oh, based off the story and lore. So.
Yeah, based
Okay,
off
I
the
got
lore.
you.
Yeah, it was freaking incredible, and you don't have to know anything about League of Legends. I think it probably was better that I didn't. Um, yeah, I don't really want to give anything away, but and I forgot too that Invincible came out last year. Like especially when we're doing the end of the year podcast, I would have shouted that out, but
Yeah.
I don't know. Like I think I enjoyed this show more than even Invincible, and I liked Invincible a lot. But yeah, this joint was just it was so good. It was a completely I don't know if the lore of the actual series, like the story of it, was already established in League of Legends, or if they just used the like the worlds. But yeah, either way, it was a great story. The characters were all well developed. Oh, and visually it's just incredible. Like it's a great series. I highly recommend watching it.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I like a good recommendation when y'all throw out a good recommendation, whether it's movie or shows, but I'm low-key kind of salty. I would have definitely watched that too.
Yeah, I watched one episode last Sunday, and I was like, I'll probably just do one episode a day, and then the next day I just binge the rest of them.
You don't want to give nobody a heads up, throw that joint on Discord for nothing. That's fine. Maybe I'll get Ghost to watch it with me or something like that, or a PYT. But that's not that's neither nor there. Okay, yeah, check that joint out. Anything else?
No, nothing for me.
I don't think I necessarily have anything too concrete. I mean, and I kind of just my excuses are still in the beginning of the year, so I'm kind of still feeling things out. You know, that little Uzi me. I just got here. I don't know. But yeah, it's fine. Just because we moved the segment at the beginning, if anyone does, come up with anything, feel free to share, and we'll even throw it in like the description or something like that. With that being said, how about we jump into the topics? We got a couple of probably good joints today, so let's get right into it. Let's see. Good looks, Ace. So for this first joint, man. So we'll watch a clip real quick, but just to give some context to it. So, as you may or may not be familiar with, there's a show called Extreme Cheapskates, and it is in my opinion, one of the funnier reality TV shows that exists. But you might be able to tell by the title. It's about people that are extremely cheap, and it's obviously very dramatized, but it gives you a visual into the world of people that are live very frugal. If you think that you penny pinch on things, there are people that are drastically penny pinching on things. So let's play this clip.
How about we actually go out and eat?
All right, let's go and eat this.
But rather than going out to eat, Barry has discovered a way to go out and then eat.
It's gonna be good.
Driving for as little as 15 minutes can heat a car engine to temperatures of approximately 200 degrees, as hot as most stovetops. By cooking simple ingredients on the engine, he saves on home utilities like gas and electricity.
I'll cook that food on the car engine. Cooking eggs, sweetheart.
Wildly silly.
Oh man. So yeah, there you go. As you can see by the clip, you have this brother, who wants to accommodate to his wifey's requests. They want to go out, see, no one just wants to eat food at home every day, and it came up with the how should I say, unique solution to going out to eat but still saving money. And obviously it's silly and what he did, but I mean it's a nice light thing to start off with. First topic of first podcast of the new year. What are our takes on on this attempt to be very frugal? Do you think, even though this is an extreme example, like the show title implies, do you think there's some benefit to living like this? I'll start with you've actually watched some of the show. I think we watched a little bit of it together, Wes. So I'll save for last. What do you think, Ghost?
I mean, it feels like a parody, like Julius from Everybody Hates Chris, just kind of over the top.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'm just there's not any benefit to living like this, because I get that some people want to save money and all that, and they ain't got it, so they gotta live frugal. But this is just silly, and I feel like honestly, starting up the car and getting it warmed up just to make some food might be more expensive, like as far as gas, than just
definitely spending money on gas.
But yeah, I mean, personally, I'm someone that will buy something that's more expensive, not for the sake of it, but just like quality wise, and try to avoid skimping. So I may not be the best person to ask, but yeah, to me, this is it's foolish. There's no reason to do anything near this level.
And that was low-key going to be one of my next questions, or like part of it. Like, obviously, I think it's safe to say none of us here are on this type of level, but do y'all consider yourselves frugal? Like on the spectrum of like, this guy who's cooking food on his literal car engine, to somebody that would, waste food. I don't know. What's the opposite end? Where would you say you fit on this?
Yeah, I'm low key a little bougie, so.
Jesus.
Man. What about you, Ace? What's your take on this, and where do you think you fit in the realm of frugalness?
I think this is over the top. I am not as frugal as I should be, though, so I could take some lessons from it, but not emulate it one for one.
I actually cannot recall a time where you said something or did something that's particularly frugal.
Damn, snitching.
No, it's true.
I mean, even if you did do things, I don't like, even before you had like a good job and good money, like I feel like you just did them. You didn't say, I'm trying to save them. I don't remember you ever saying, I'm gonna do this because I need to save money.
Yeah, I mean, we all know I don't have the best.
That kind of goes back to some of our respective, feelings just towards money in general.
Yeah.
For me though, I fall somewhere in the middle, I think, because I do not waste food as a rule, and I do not like to see people waste food. That means any food. Like, if it's still edible, it kind of pains me to see it.
I'm the same way. Not even a pizza crust.
Exactly. I don't know, like, it's not completely from a place of frugality, if that's a word. It's just like, I don't know, it bothers me. It's probably a personal thing, but it just doesn't make sense to me to waste food. But on the other end of the spectrum, someone said, like, you're not gonna save your way into wealth.
Oh my God, that's a whole topic. Holy.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
I mean, you're only gonna, like, okay, so let's look
kind of a fact.
You have a set income, whatever. I mean, you might go out with promotions, but you're only gonna say there's a cap. You have a salary, and that's your income. If that's your only source of income, if you save a bunch of it, that doesn't make you wealthy. That just makes you have at max your full income, and that's not realistic because you have expenses. So saving is good, of course, but it's not going to make you wealthy. You have to do something with that money that you save.
True, but well, yeah, you have to do something, as
Yeah,
in like invest.
exactly.
Yeah. Because I
So,
was gonna say like a lot of rich people, they are
oh yeah,
extremely frugal.
most definitely. But all that money is going into mostly
Yeah.
investments, so it is growing for them. But yeah, it has diminishing returns. Simply saving, because if you're just putting it in a bank, you're getting crap interest, and it's not. Really
Oh man, well, this is not no economic podcast, but man, if you got a little change, yeah, don't just let it just sit in a checking account. That ain't gonna do you any
Or
good,
even
bro.
a savings account.
Yeah,
The return on
interest.
investment for that is garbage. I was just looking at mine. I'm like,
I mean,
did I really make $39 in 2 years? What?
You give your whole information. I mean, some banks are obviously going to be better than others, and and some. I guess since we're just talking, I think I might have said this before, but some I like have some saving accounts that are specifically because it's like a black-owned bank, so some of it for personal reasons, but. Yeah, to make your money move in any shape or form, it's in the bank account is not gonna really do you a lot. Yeah. Oh man. No, what y'all said is kind of like what I kind of expected from us. Based off what we make, based off how we live. So I guess the other part of this is we kind of understand how we kind of operate when it comes to saving money or doing things so we can penny pinch. What do we feel regarding like if you had to deal with a person who's like extremely cheap, like who's like pushing this? Basically, if you were homeboys with this brother, would that be cool? I'll kind of go back around in the opposite order. What do you think, Wes?
I think unless if he like tries to impose, well, I mean, it clearly imposes it on his woman. But if he's good with like, if I said, no, we're not doing that, I'll pay for this or whatever.
There's gonna be a lot of I got yous.
Yeah, exactly. And if he's like, no, like if he insists, it will get annoying. But if he can put it away when he's around me or whatever, and we can be more or less normal, it might not be so bad. But I mean, I'd probably tell him what I just said as far as you're not gonna save your way to wealth. Like, if he doesn't have more than one stream of income, if he doesn't have a job that's paying him a ton of money, then I'll just say, hey, this is kind of ridiculous.
I guess a realistic example was because obviously cooking your food on top of a car engine is obviously not. What if you went out with one of your homeboys, one of your homegirls, and they're gonna pay, and they dig into their pocketbook or their bag, and they pull out a big bag full of coupons, and they dig into the coupons. The line's getting long. Like they like, hold up 1 second. I got one. I know I got a 30-cent deal off. How would y'all handle that?
Man, I just make the purchase. I could. I don't know.
I wouldn't even let somebody. Like I think we've all said this before. We've probably paid for somebody else's food or grocery or something like that, or helped them out.
Oh yeah.
In line when they're just taking too long. It's like,
yeah,
seriously.
There was actually one of these. I think there was an episode of this where I think it was the guy. He actually brought out like a huge bag of change, like coins.
Oh my gosh!
Trying to count it out.
Put it away. By the way, I get, well, not at a restaurant. I get why people like do that. I mean, obviously, some people don't got it like that, but cause if you do have like mad coins, like an old piggy bank or something, to get that converted into real deal cash, you got to pay for that. So you're literally losing money to get it converted.
I don't think you have to pay at the bank.
No, not at a bank. I'm talking about like at a
like a Coin Star.
Yeah, exactly.
But if you bring them to a bank, I'm pretty sure you have to wrap them, and I'm sure the wraps cost money. So someone who's really cheap probably wouldn't want to get the wraps
I ain't gonna lie. I'm not trying to age shame. That's for old folks. That's a you exactly. You gotta wrap them, sort them. That's you could commit that day to doing that. No one got that type of time. You kind of spoke on Ace. Ghost, could you deal with a person like this?
No. I have very little tolerance in general when it comes to certain things, and if it was some random dude that like I'm sitting behind the line, he's trying to do like the coupon, like you said, I'd be already starting to get pissed. But it was my boy doing that, and like you said, it'd be a lot of either I got yous or dealing with his shenanigans, and I don't got the patience for it. You can save that money, but I'm gonna save my time.
Ooh, that's a bar. It's not about comparison, but I guess it would be better to have somebody that's super frugal like this than somebody who's always asking for something, at the very least.
Yeah.
I guess, but like I kind of feel like someone frugal like that. I guess it's not fair to say that it'd come hand in hand, but
No, not all the time.
Not all the time, but there'd be a good few times that, because if they're that frugal to the point where they're cooking eggs on your engine, you know that if they have the opportunity to save money by not having to pay for something, and if you're gonna pay for them, then they'll take that option. So
yeah, maybe. I do think there's value in being, let's say, in a relationship or maybe even having a friend that is good at finding deals and that is good at saving money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or just
like
good with money in general.
Yeah.
I'd be hitting you up sometimes for like advice when it comes to like finances and stuff.
Mm-hmm. But like when you're going to buy something, like for me, when I'm going to purchase something that's of a decent value, and I need to like, do a little research and compare products and things like that, I'll take the time up front to be like, okay, let me make sure I'm getting the best thing, best value. But then when I commit to it, I kind of just tune out all the other stuff because it's just like, all right, well, I did the work, I'm gonna pay the money, and I'm not gonna stress about it. And I don't like going back and seeing, I could have got this much more. Like, so I'm not the best, but I do like to take a little bit of time up front when I'm making bigger purchases to make sure I'm getting the best deal. But people who are really good at it and always get the best deal, I think. When they're not extreme like this, it is a very good thing, I think.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think to some degree we all are like that, and I'm definitely like that. Like y'all know, I buy like a lot of shoes and I like clothes, so I definitely like site compare, just at least two, just to make sure. But yeah, hey man, salute to everybody that's trying to save a penny. Unfortunately, like Wes said, and we're gonna come back to that one day, you cannot save yourself into wealth, but I guess more so savings more so about making sure you have something, so for a rainy day or a bad day,
emergencies.
Yeah. So and that kind of goes in line with your recommendation earlier, just people getting their finances in order. You don't have to make sure every resource you're using is going into another resource, like making sure you cook every time you drive, but it does help to at least have some type of like finance tracking app, or at least something like that. Maybe cut out a bill or two and use your homeboy's Netflix or Disney Plus. Yes. Yeah, there's nothing else on that. We can go on to the next joint. Okay, so.
Oh my god.
This was actually a topic that a story that came out last year, and obviously something that most people have noticed at this point, but we never got to talk about it. So I'm definitely worth the conversation. It kind of impacts damn near everybody. But no, it's you know, if you haven't noticed by now, YouTube like got rid of like, not they didn't get rid of the dislike button, but they got rid of showing the dislike button. So obviously in the past, you know, if you go on a YouTube video and see a whole bunch of dislikes, now if you were to go on a YouTube video, the dislikes are not there. And to give the context, you know, up front before I even get into the headline, the dislike button is still there, and the actual content creator can actually still see the dislikes, but it's not public. And yeah, like I said, this headline says to reduce targeted dislike attacks and their impact on creators, especially on smaller creators, you'll no longer see the public dislike count on YouTube starting today. This is back in like November. The dislike button is staying. This comes after a lot of research, testing, and consideration. Y'all want to pull up that video? They actually released like a video on it.
Might as well. Let them talk their BS for a second before we tear into it.
We'll just go through some of it, see what they're saying. Okay. All right. So, no. Okay.
Ironically enough, I'd like to see the dislike count on this video.
At the very least, I think this was put out like on YouTube's official channel. I guess salute to them for this. Even though there's a lot to pick apart here, it's good knowing that they are addressing the question that everybody has. I mean, where do we start with this? I guess it might just be a question of are you buying it or not. Oh man, what do you think, Wes? What do you think about the removal of the dislikes and their explanation for it?
I don't know. I mean, I think the transparency was good. I don't see that this is completely necessary. It's kind of weak. I'm not a big YouTube person, by the way, but
I kind of went. How'd you go first?
To say, but which is a weird thing. But yeah, it seems weak to me.
Fair enough. Ghost, what's your hot take?
Nothing surprising here, but I hate it mostly because it's inconvenient for me when I'm looking for tutorials and instructions and I can't see, okay, is this video trash or is this video actually helpful? And honestly, I think their excuse is obviously BS, the reason why they did it. I don't know if it's because YouTube Rewind got a lot of dislikes, but honestly, I don't really know the real underlying reason why, but I just know that I hate it. Not more productive to add, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, it's just we don't gotta go through all their points. It's just like, well, I mean, first of all, their main point about how like some people have been getting like these lists, like a large amount of dislikes on their video for no reason other than like that content creator is not particularly liked at that point in time. That is true. I've heard about that. But I don't know, on just a everyday practical sense, I'm 1,000% with you. Like, and it was worth noting that I don't typically dislike videos. Like, the only time I would dislike a video, and the only time I actually am interested in a video is my dislikes, if the video is not reflective of exactly what it's saying. And I'm not just talking about like clickbait. Like if I'm watching a funny, like if something's funny, I'm talking about if I'm literally searching for. Cause I use like a lot of like back in the day for YouTube for college. Like how do I do this? How do I use this equation? Or how do I do whatever? You know, using it for classes and stuff. So if I'm using it and the video don't, if I'm doing something, if I'm looking at something for math and the things about social studies, I'm just gonna dislike it because it's not reflective of what I'm looking for. It's not reflective of what the video is saying it's about. And also I would just look at like the amount of dislikes. If it's a huge amount of dislikes, it's not because like I'm thinking there's some backlash towards the creators, because the video ain't selling. So yeah, I'm just saying that to say like my usual process would be when I do see a lot of dislikes is I see the dislikes, I look at a comment or two and say, and then it'll be like, no, this video is wrong, someone made a mistake or something like that. And you just get out of it. That's why I was kind of interested to see. I mean, they say they have data, so I'm not gonna go against that. But it's if I see a video has a lot of dislikes, and the reason why it has dislikes is because the video is not portraying what it should be portraying. I'm not there. I'm not watching that video. So that's interesting. That they note there. What else did he say? He said people still watch the videos no matter just like content creators can still see it. Oh, the thing about part of the reasons they're doing this is so all the content creators can still have a voice. We don't gotta get too deep into that, but I mean that's just not true. Videos are getting pulled down for every and anything. Like that's been the biggest thing like in recent times. Like you can't say certain things on YouTube. You can't promote a certain thing on YouTube. And some of those videos aren't getting negatively disliked or liked. So I don't know. I don't think you can use that as like I know YouTube has guidelines and misinformation and all that, but that's just not true.
Yeah, actually, from that perspective, they're kind of flipping the blame on the users. It's like they're the ones policing the content, but then they're like, oh, the users are disliking things and making or having a negative effect on people.
Yeah. And one last thing, I'll get to you, Ace. Go ahead. What's your take on all this?
I'm just gonna say you made a good point about the use of the dislike button. I'm exactly the same. I can't even remember the last time I disliked a video, and it probably was when I was trying to do some type of schoolwork or something like that, and figure out a use of an equation or how to solve a certain problem, and the video just doesn't do something correctly or something like that, and you see the dislikes on it, and it's like, oh, this is probably incorrect. So yeah, I mean, I feel like they said they had the data. Maybe it was mostly on people that weren't using YouTube in a educational fashion. Because like if you're looking for entertaining videos and you were able to see the dislike counter and it has a ton of dislikes, whether it has a lot of dislikes or not, you may have still watched the video because it's for a different purpose, as opposed to if you're trying to actually learn something, you're not going to waste your time watching something that's not going to teach you correctly.
Exactly.
So citing the fact that people would still watch the video is kind of negating everybody else who's actually trying to do something productive with the platform, which is dumb. I'm pissed off about this as well. He says we're gonna get over it. I don't know when I'm gonna get over it. I'm still pissed.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know like this. I haven't looked at like everyone else or every single person's like thoughts and feelings on it, but most people are either like confused or don't like this. And I've seen a good amount of content creators, that post regularly on YouTube, and they're like, I don't think this is productive either. So it's kind of
the one
it's kind of interesting.
The one person who who said they liked it did like kind of a parody video. It was Donkey.
Oh,
He did a video. It was like, oh, now I can say anything I want. The Last of Us 2, great game. Dude is hilarious.
That is funny. Yeah. YouTube is kind of. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say it just sucks to meet people who get mad online, and I feel like they're steering the whole ship in terms of people who just
man
on the and disliking people because, or disliking videos because of people, I'm pretty sure we all just don't watch. Like we're not interested in things that we don't.
Man, that's a whole nother topic. You talking that talk tonight?
Move on.
Yeah, no, we definitely come back to that one day. But damn near the whole society moves based off like the opinions of people we don't really even like respect their opinion to begin with. In a lot of
You know what though?
ways.
You know what? I guess there is one devil's advocate thing that I have to look at this through the lens of, and it's that I'm somebody who talks about how toxic Twitter is and how easy it is for like negativity to be pushed to the forefront of the platform.
Yep.
So for YouTube to try to do something about that is interesting. I still don't really believe that the use of the dislike button, like they were saying, I feel like it's almost like a excuse rather than like it was something they found after deciding they wanted to remove the dislike button. But I don't know, like one could say that it is a good thing that they're trying to find a way to make the platform less or take away that ability to make
No.
ruin somebody's channel or something like that by disliking their videos. But I don't know. I just, this was not the move. This definitely wasn't the move.
No, you're not wrong about that. Like, I mean, I've said in the past before, like, the YouTube comment sections. I've seen it get really messy and divisive and toxic in them comment sections. So YouTube is definitely not the most family friendly place. Let's be clear. And obviously, I mean, obviously, but for me, it's actually the comment sections I look at these days are not necessarily as toxic. Maybe I used to see them, but yeah, YouTube comment section can be very nasty, to say the least. But that's the comment sections, not necessarily the dislikes. And I don't know, it's kind of like it's hard to completely be combative against it because they're going based off data. I'm sure some input. It's just that the dislike button served different functions, and it wasn't just about like hate spamming people. So it's kind of interesting that you take it away when it still serves purpose. And they kind of made a small point about like how, this could reduce like making the content creators feel bad, but in the same breath, the content creator can still very much see the dislikes. So maybe it's just that the content creator knows that other people can't see the dislikes. It makes it feel better. I don't know.
That's a good point. Maybe it's just that I think they're probably saying that because people can't see the dislike counter anymore, they're not even bothering with trying to like nuke somebody's videos into.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. I mean, regardless if you like it or not, it is here. I don't. So this is an experiment. Is that I guess that's the news here that I can't really remember. This is.
Yeah, I don't think they said it's officially here to stay yet, but I don't know if that changed.
I don't know. My last take on this is like, one, they rolled this out really fast. I was like, I heard about it one day and then it was gone the next day, and you don't even really realize it because again, I don't really make use of the dislike button, but also I'm also pro. This is weird, but I'm also very pro dislike button. I think there should be dislike buttons on all social medias because even though there is this potential harmful use of dislike buttons, at the end of the day, people still need to know that some of their content is trash. Yes. Very much so. But yeah, I mean, yeah, it's here. So what can you do? If there's nothing else on this, we can move on to the next joint.
SF Gate.
That joint out of here. What publication is this actually? Let me make sure I get this right. Oh, it's really
San Francisco.
Okay, San Francisco Gate. So yeah, so to sanfranciscogate.com. Man, this was an interesting story, and I don't know if you remember what, but we actually talked about this. But this article gives like a lot more detail on it. So the headline says San Francisco-based Doordash is requiring engineers to deliver food, and they're furious. Go down a bit, Ace. I'm not gonna necessarily read it all, and actually, I think you brought this story, Ghost. Even though, like I said, I did know about this before. But basically, I'll give a little context, and then you could break it down further. Ghost. Yeah, DoorDash. You know, DoorDash and these food delivery services are all the rage. They're making all their employees, not just the delivery drivers. I think they even set up to like the literal CEO, deliver at least one delivery like a month or something like that. And some people aren't happy about it. But yeah, Ghost, you can break it down further. And what's the question from it?
Yeah, so essentially it's a little more than that, because it says engineers in the headline, but I think it's like all from managerial staff to like office staff, everything between. Essentially, like Quest said, they got to do one delivery a month, and I don't necessarily remember the whole article, but I do remember thinking about this before, and I think you might have discussed it briefly, but maybe not just for DoorDash specifically, but like in general, if you were an engineer, we're engineers, so if we work for a company like DoorDash or like, let's say, Wendy's or a retail fast food type establishment that had minimum wage workers doing the I don't want to say the grunt work.
I said the grunt work. I'll say it, but I can't say we want to be safer on this.
The less savory aspects of
the actual
field.
blue collar aspect of it, I guess.
Yeah. So if your company was requiring you to deliver do delivery once a month, or go into like a Wendy's office once a month, or go on a construction site to help out or something, that's kind of a different equivalency, but we get the general idea. How would we feel about this, and is it a good idea overall?
There you go.
It's a great topic.
Start with you, Ace. I think you might actually have a different opinion on this, since you kind of worked in different aspects of your company.
Yep. Yeah, I don't know what you guys are gonna say, but I think it's brilliant. I love it. And I would 100% love to go back once a month and do what I used to do, or even go onto like install job sites or things like that. I think it's awesome. I don't know.
Once a month?
To clarify, when you say what you used to do, mean surveying, right?
Yeah, you can say that. You don't gotta be too that secret unless you want to.
Yeah.
Once a month though?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you remember how much I used to do that? Like, once a month would be nothing.
And wasn't it sometimes strenuous?
Yeah, but still, doing one survey a month, like it would still be like a vacation from my normal job.
Okay.
Okay. So to be fair, you're not an engineer for DoorDash. So if you had to do DoorDash deliveries for a day, how would you feel about that?
It'd be dope. Go drive around and deliver crap.
Yeah.
I don't see what the problem is.
I got a couple of takes.
It also says a dash. Like,
yeah, I don't think
it's
got to
do one
it's a
delivery.
full day. I think it's literally you have to hop in your vehicle and make one delivery. From what it reads.
mind you, like my company, uh, they asked their more office level employees to do non-office work, and it's perfectly fine. The only thing, like, I do understand that taking somebody away from an office environment to do that work, you are taking away productivity. So I mean, as long as the company is fine with taking that hit, I got no problem going out into the field and doing field work.
Wait, right now you'd have no problem when
No,
it's like damn near 10 degrees out?
no. I
'Cause
mean,
I've been surveying in the cold and it is not
understand,
fun.
like I had to do this day in day out for 2 years.
You're talking to
So
somebody
one
that ain't
day
new to
of
this, ain't true to
cold,
this.
I'm good. Like 100%. It would still be a vacation.
Okay. I mean, hey, we're here for all takes. I kind of been interested because you're kind of just seem like you would be good for it just because it'd be a getaway from the norm. Do you think? But so do you think there's like a lesson in all of this, or do you think it'd just be free for you, would just like you said, kind of a getaway from not think.
Yeah, no, no, no. For people who have never done the work before, I 100% think it's valuable for them to see the challenges that um, field employees
Gotcha.
go through.
Yeah.
Because it's gonna, it'll change your expectations, and you'll have a better understanding of what can physically be done.
Bring it out.
So yeah, 100%. Like there's value to it.
Got you. Wes, what's your take on all of this?
I agree. There's value for a let's say like a manufacturing type of environment for the people who are at the desk doing design and stuff like that. There's value in going down to the shop floor and working with the people who actually make the things that you're designing. So I think people might have unrealistic expectations of what they can do,
Fact.
how easy things are, or things like that. So I think those type of programs are, great value added, and even in my case, like there's been a contingency for situations where there might be some type of union activity, where they have a shortage of workers and they've asked for help in that way, in the event that something would happen. So it's not a foreign idea to me, and I think it's a good idea across most, if not all, industries. Not just for the contingency, but for that experience, that fuller picture of the full process.
Okay.
Although I will say once a month.
Yeah, once a month, the frequency.
Maybe, it could be kind of high. I feel like maybe like, especially like for new people, I think it's a good experience, and then I think maybe with some maybe a longer period or a cadence than once a month, but I think there's value in the idea generally, and maybe it works for Doordash. I think, like I said, it's a dash once a month. So
one delivery really ain't bad, but I ain't gonna.
These workers are in San Francisco too.
Yeah,
it's probably like the next door.
Right, you could do that. Take an hour out of your day or whatever, and probably do that.
Maybe it's an issue because it's probably still on the clock, and it's like you probably. What if you have to fit that in and still get in all your regular work?
True.
We don't.
Yeah, but it's still one day.
Yeah. We don't know the fine details of it. But since we all do have this added, well, not all of us, but since y'all kind of speaking about like the aspect of not minding it, I'll read a little of the article, because there was one part of the article that I was reading, and it is kind of funny, in my opinion. So an engineer with a reported total compensation, or TC, I guess that's total compensation, of $400,000 a year. So this is a person that's making some change. Griped about the responsibility of having to do once a month delivery. What the actual F? The engineer wrote on the platform.
I mean, you can swear.
I
This is an explicit.
I like to keep it down
podcast.
to one, at least for me. One F for the podcast, and I don't want to use it on this. Anyway, I didn't sign up for this. There was nothing in the offer letter job description about this. Let's see. Line requires register email. Sorry, I'm just reading. So, while some people replied to the original post said it would be a helpful opportunity to develop empathy and learn about the I think I'm reading. I'm gonna keep scrolling. Learn about the Madrid. What's that word? Myriad. Myriad. Thank you. Frustrations of delivery workers. Others sided with the original poster. Not acceptable in any way, said one. For employees unable to do deliveries, there were other programs in place for the service employees and businesses. The program was launched. The spokesperson said, "To learn firsthand how the technology products we build empower local economies and which in turn help us build a better product. Employees will gain credits through these services, which are reportedly built into an annual review." So there you go. So yeah, I guess what that person is kind of saying, and honestly, I don't want to get bigoted and start speaking on the mindset of a person that makes $400,000 a year, but they're kind of looking at it from a perspective of like, I didn't sign up for this. This wasn't in my job description that I have to do deliveries. So why should I be forced to do this?
As somebody who is, job description is important. So I get that take. They may have to. I mean, they do have to account for that. If that job wasn't in the, if that job wasn't in the job description, then they have to work out how that makes legal sense. I guess you could say legal sense, or how it makes sense generally for people who are opposed.
I mean, everybody's job description. we never read the fine print. At some point, it says it's gonna say you may have to do some things outside of this, like not included in this. Like, I don't think you could take that to court. Oh, maybe you could. I think we just saw a story about somebody sued their parents for being born or something crazy like that. But that's another topic for another day. Yeah. I mean, and I don't know if this is something you'd want to take to court, because it's literally just you're doing one delivery. But yeah, you're right. There are some potential implications. Do you have any other takes about this, Ghost? About this story in general?
I'll say that in general, I mostly agree with the concept. However, like for my job in particular, I wouldn't care if I had to go out once a month to do field work. I mostly do anyways. But if I was a higher up at Walmart,
yeah, with the registers,
I would probably be sending messages similar to what that dude did, because I'm well documented my hate and despisement of my cashier experience.
Alright, well, I make it too personal now.
Yeah, I hated that.
But you're right. I mean,
every fiber of my
being. We touched on it. There's definitely some benefits to understanding what it's like on the ground level. But
yeah, and it is like there is some value in not even like once a month, but just like in general, doing retail and service jobs, just so you know what people doing those jobs on a regular basis, how they feel, and you don't treat them like crap. But
yeah, once a month. Now that I'm thinking, once a month is kind of a lot.
I'm telling you, that frequency could be an issue for some people.
It's kind of a lot. Even again, it is one dash, but it is kind of a lot, depending on the job and depending on what it is. It's kind of a lot.
I think ultimately, like having to actually be in the mix, like again, if you like that one dash you have to do, that you might be like kind of off of it because you gotta drive into a neighborhood you're not used to, or you gotta like whatever. I've never done any type of delivery services, so I don't know what that experience is like. But it might be annoying to do once you're in it. But I think the lessons that can be gained from it is definitely valuable. Even if even if some people, like, if they really enforce this, there's definitely going to be somebody just like, you hear they're probably going to be one of the dashers that end up being in somebody's like horror story, like they got their food and the food's all mashed up, or something like that.
I wonder if they're gonna get ratings too.
They got to. You what? But yeah, no, it's definitely a valuable lesson and an interesting story, to say the least. And yeah, maybe other companies will start doing it too. We'll stay posted. If there's nothing else, we can move on to the next joint. I'm laughing at that picture. Oh my gosh. So I don't know if this will be.
That's gotta be in the thumb, by the way.
And maybe we should have saved this for last, since this is semi-music related. But we're here. So I don't even know how you intro this. You intro this by saying salute to Freddie Gibbs. Freddie Gibbs actually. I'm actually gonna say a fun fact. He's actually one of the few rappers I follow on Twitter, but I think he doesn't even have an Instagram, so I think you'd only be able to follow him on Twitter. Anyway, he put out a tweet semi-recently, and it's not long, but it's a lot there. He says, "Rap needs a G League, respectfully. Sorry. Yeah, this, that, nothing else. No other context. Just rap needs a G League." And maybe this won't be too long, but the reason when I see this, well, first of all, I listen to a lot of hip hop, I listen to a lot of rap, not as much as Ghost did last year, but that's neither here nor there. And we all, and I even more so thought about how, like, we all, like, sat down and listened to a fair amount of albums at the end of the year, which we'll probably end up doing this year too, unfortunately. So in that mix of going through album after album after album, we did hear some, I know it's subjective, but low quality, or I don't know why I'm even being PC about it. It's a lot of trash. Actually, oh wait, no, it's not about being, it's not even about it being trash, but it's mid. I guess that's a better way to say it. It's mid. So yeah, I don't know, without stressing this out too much, what do we think about this? Would it be some benefit to rap having a it's kind of interesting, because some people aren't even familiar with the concept of a G League. It's just like a league above the actual, like, the top guys. And I was thinking, like, he's not talking about the underground, of course. He's not saying like some rappers need to stay underground. It's just more like, some people we need to, because of their ability, they just shouldn't be in the same category as the other guys. Yeah, we don't have to stretch this out too much. What do y'all think about it? What do you think about it, Ghost?
Honestly, the way that I look at it is, there's the NBA and there's the G League, and there's some NBA teams that, even though they are in the NBA, they really should probably be brought down a level just because they trash. Let you Pistons, Magic, but that's besides the point. So my thing is, I kind of agree with them, and I'm trying to think of rappers that
Lord, here we go,
are considered major league. Like, they have a lot of clout, they had a lot of sales.
I didn't think we get to name names on this subject, but here we go.
I mean, you got to name names, but without getting too slanderous, there's some dudes out there that
scroll down names, dude.
They can't rap.
Does the public give any ideas? Y'all keep talking, but
what does this look like? Is this just like more like the conversations about GOATs and top fives, where it's just completely subjective?
Maybe
or are we saying like they should be relegated to a different genre or subgenre or something?
Damn.
Like how?
I don't know if I'd go that far, but my thought was, if you're considered
Monies.
pro level, but you should really be in the G League. And I got a couple.
No, what's it right? Like this is kind of like that. That works in the context of like sports. Like it's like you just won't play against like the NBA
it's a
player.
literal league.
But this would be a bit different in just rap, where there's not really a certain like there's not leagues. It's just you're an artist and you know make music. What I was kind of thinking of it as
You can't be featured on,
what I was
on somebody's.
that is, what I was thinking about it like. Maybe it would be in the terms of the deals, like you don't, if you're a certain artist, you won't get signed to what are even labels these days. You won't get signed to like Universal Music, RCA.
I think it's still a big.
You have to get signed to a little group.
Good music.
Yeah, I was gonna say Bruiser Brigade. Salute to Danny Brown though. Yeah, I don't know. That's one way, and I guess, and this starts getting kind of unfair. And we're just guys talking, so nobody get offended or anything. I guess it could even have implications in terms of like what platform you're allowed to be on, like as far as like. Spotify is not gonna.
Damn, so you can't be on Spotify. You gotta be on SoundCloud.
I'm just saying, like maybe you shouldn't. Maybe not everyone should be able to be on Spotify. I don't know. But yeah, it could get messed up. Before I say anything too messed up, what do you think, Wes?
I don't know. I mean, I get it, but it not to take it too literally or to be too.
Yeah, it's just light.
I just, yeah, I don't really know what that would look like. But also like, how do you transition? Like, and who's the gatekeeper? Like, but I think it's just public. I take it as public opinion, and I think it's fair to maybe like for individuals to categorize them in their mind that way. That makes sense. It does.
That would cut down on like a lot of the arguments. Like,
yeah, I'd be like, because you're like, if somebody asks you about somebody that you relegated to the G League, and they're trying to pit them against somebody who you think is a better rapper, clearly, like, and then you could just say, nah, we're not having this.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Like, honestly, this is like the worst. This is like the worst comparison ever. So don't listen to this. But say like,
yeah, or you ask for somebody's top 5 and they list all G leagues. You're like, all right, we're not having. Like, we understand what's going on here.
So like, say like Kendrick was in the league, and then again, I'm just talking. And then Drake was in the G League. There would be no Kendrick versus Drake debates. It'd be like, okay, we know it's like, yeah, I like that. I like that aspect of it. Again, the question is who's gatekeeping this. But
you gotta have a whole committee that votes on it, like the Emmys and what's the other award shows?
That would be a good question. Who do we put on the committee?
Yeah, I guarantee I'm gonna be the first one to get pissed about the committee.
I mean, there obviously would be or some type of organization, but it's not even like that. I mean, going back to because like getting signed is kind of similar, be it sports or music. You have to get noticed, and you have to they have to see your highlight reel, and you might not get signed by a big guy, and then you go to the little league.
Yeah, but I mean, some of these labels, we don't care about them. Like,
yeah, that's the thing. And
yeah, we would want.
And labels don't necessarily go for the good guy; they go for the
and
whoever can make. Yeah.
Exactly. Yes, that's the problem. Is you can sell if you're bad, whereas with sports, you can't win if you're bad.
That's a fact. Well. Yes. Man, I don't know. I don't know. This go around the whole table. Is there anything else on this? Salute to Freddie Gibbs.
Which, if you could choose one artist that's popping now, who would you say deserves to be in the G League that maybe public opinion is thinks that they're major?
You start.
I will start because the second I saw this, I had a name in mind, and that is without a doubt Baby Keem.
Oh,
Dude is
wow.
absolute trash, garbage. I listened to that album. I heard those 2 damn songs he did with Kendrick that got super big, and I cannot see why he's big at all. Dude is absolutely garbage.
We don't gotta do too much slandering, and we just we can say the name and move on.
All right, yeah, Baby Keem.
Ace, you're opinionated when it comes to hip hop.
I mean, I want to say somebody that's not obvious like Drake or
Drake wouldn't be in the G League.
actually Drake.
You really think Drake should be in the
Unfortunately, Drake wouldn't.
Yeah, that's not a reasonable.
There we
answer.
wouldn't be in the G League.
Who's we listened to somebody's album when we were doing the list or getting ready for the list, and he it was 2 albums before we listened to G Unit guy.
Do you remember the chronological order?
Oh, you talk not Guap Dad.
Yes.
Oh.
Guap
Wow,
Dad.
so it's you from remembering. Oh yeah, that's an answer right there.
Damn.
Yeah.
He's not really big league though, is he? I'm kind of. I guess he's.
You're saying somebody that most people think is big league? then?
Yeah.
I mean, we can keep it at just an artist that, if there were leagues, what league would they be in?
Yeah, exactly.
Damn. Yeah, that album was that album.
Yeah, that was one of the ones that was a bit hard to get through. I ain't gonna lie to you.
I don't know if I can answer these things in earnest though, because I don't listen to people who are like, I don't listen to them enough. Like, I don't even like remember some of these people's sounds if I think about them. But so Guap Dad is a good answer.
I mean, you don't like Lil Dicky.
Yes. Well, yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, he's definitely G League. You're right.
I might need to change my answer.
I mean, you can give multiple because I got a couple. I ain't gonna lie. Like, since we just opened the floodgates to be disrespectful, I'm be honest. I think there are a couple of Dreamville artists. As much as I love Dreamville, salute to Ari, salute to J. Cole.
Don't say what.
Yeah, absolutely. You know where I'm going with this. Boss.
Come on.
Boz would
That ain't
absolutely,
dog, that
positively
dog.
be G League. It is
That ain't
what it is.
You're basing that off of one song though.
I don't know why you're spoiling why I'm doing it, but yes, very much so. Also, I mean, then these are for different reasons. Like, Boz is again that one song, and also, I mean, I think respectively, like, people know of Boz, but he's, I think if League existed, you would just, or at least as far as like tiers, he's definitely on that level, just from a public perspective, and more so talent wise, I think French Montana. You put him right in the G League. He can put up numbers when he's playing. He's a good player and all that. But if he were to play against the Bulls this season, he it would be no competition. So yeah, that's my answers.
Yeah, French Montana is like the James Jones to LeBron.
There you go.
He always got to have a feature.
Yeah.
Damn, no Big Sean hate? I'm surprised.
Oh, I forgot about Big Sean. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, I'm not really mad at that.
The reason why I get dicey with artists like that is because the thing about hip hop too is like, you might be big at the beginning of your career and relatively skilled. We don't got to get into that portion of it, but relatively skilled. And then over time, it could just be like a noticeable declining, and nobody's really even acknowledging you to be that guy. So, yeah, that's the reason why it's tricky. But I mean, I guess there are some players that are in the league, and then after a while they go play overseas or something like that. So maybe it'd be akin to that.
Damn, send them to you.
Hey, yeah, let's send.
Are you
Let's send them overseas. But it's again another comparison to sports. Like, U.S. artists, even if you're like not that big, you can go over another country and you can like sell out like a lot of arenas. Like, Like they love U.S. artists, no matter how good or bad you are over there. Yes. Yeah. Salute to Freddie Gibbs. Honestly, he's you can tell he's just talking about from a skill perspective because I don't think any of us would, but I don't know if everyone's putting him in the league league.
Nah.
Freddie Gibbs
nah,
himself.
Come on now.
Oh,
Gibbs gotta be in the league. What?
For us, yeah. What's the song? And we're not going to turn this into a Freddie Gibbs discussion. What's the song? What's the banger? What's the hit?
Basketball wise, maybe.
What?
I would have to look it up.
Yeah, it's quiet. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. It's all be opinionated, but it's quiet, and that's nothing wrong with that. I mean, Freddie Gibbs is not gonna make a whatever the.
Honestly, I think 20 Karat Jesus. That one.
Man, it took you a billion years to come up with that. Next, let's look Freddie Gibbs. One of my favorite people on social media. Period. Rappers on social media. If I clarify that. Yeah. There's nothing else on this. We can go on to the last joint. Man, this is an interesting story, and I don't know where we're gonna fully take it with this, but I'll just read a little bit of it, and you can get into it. Ace. This is by Polygon, so it's a Polygon. I think we touched on a couple of their stories. The headline is Pokimane banned on Twitch after streaming Avatar: The Last Airbender. Great show, by the way. The ban is likely a temporary result of a DMCA strike. So yeah, Ace, why did it catch your attention, and what are you thinking based off it?
Yeah, so like the title said, it seems that because this Twitch streamer, who I think this says they were pulling 25K viewers at the time, because they were streaming Avatar: The Last Airbender, it seems like that's the reason why they got the temporary ban. This seems to be a trend that's been happening on Twitch recently, where streamers will stream like a show. I watched multiple episodes of 90 Day Fiance.
Salute to 90 Day Fiance, one top 5 reality TV shows. Sorry, let me shut up.
Yeah, because somebody was streaming it on Twitch, so I didn't really think too critically of it. When me and Quest were talking about this a little bit earlier, and one thing that crossed my mind was probably they were probably able to get away with it because they weren't going to be saving the videos, like they wouldn't be archiving those videos where they were watching content, but still, like, it just, if you really think about it, it's kind of insane that people are just watching shows, streaming it, and not expecting any type of ramifications. So yeah, this seems to be the first potential sign that could be going away. And I don't know, like, just from perspective of somebody who is starting to stream, I just hope it doesn't get to the point where, like, you just can't stream anything, like, outside of the gaming or whatever, like just chatting or whatever people be doing now. Because, like, I think streaming certain YouTube videos still might be a place for that, but they could end up just saying no streaming any type of alternative content besides gaming, or IRL type stuff altogether. So yeah.
So I kind of actually gonna read a bit of it just to give, like, I guess a little more context, because I mean some people aren't really necessarily familiar with the aspect of Twitch and streaming. It doesn't necessarily get into that, but this is an interesting part of the article. So part of it says, streamers broadcasting and commenting on television is a newer trend on Twitch, known as TV meta. You can tell they've been in the Twitch chats. It's become a popular way to capture the attention of viewers. In December, popular variety streamers like Felix XQC, not popular enough for me, and Hassan Habibi Piker streamed viewings of competitive cooking show MasterChef on their channel. Quick comment on that. Yes, people love to stream MasterChef, any show that Hell's Kitchen, any show that Gordon Ramsay's on. I don't know if he's on MasterChef, but they love streaming cooking shows. You can go on Twitch right now and somebody's streaming Hell's Kitchen. Still, the strategy is risky as Twitch has a history of removing content after receiving takedown requests from companies. In 2020, the streaming platform encouraged streamers to remove content to comply with copyright laws for music. Twitch responds to notifications of copyright holders who filed DMCA requests. In this case, Viacom CBS, who owns Avatar: The Last Airbender, so its legal team would issue the request. A likely DMCA strike against such a popular streamer could have huge implications for larger Twitch. The larger Twitch's larger TV meta, while Anons, a channel has been reinstated. It remains to be seen if other big variety streamer will continue to react to shows with the threat of takedown looming over. I mean, honestly, it's kind of like a legal matter, so I mean, there might not be too much to talk about. But I guess like what are our takes on it as far as like, is it just a matter of you don't do the crime if you can't do the time, or is this like kind of is this like I mean, it's kind of talking about it. Is this like being too restrictive for the sake of like for no reason? What do you think, Ghost?
I mean, it is restrictive, but if they expected not to get banned or whatever for streaming this stuff, especially for streaming Nick's stuff, then you're just dumb.
Yeah.
Like, it's kind of expected that companies want their money, and if you're not using their streaming services,
that's what it all goes back to. Because I was gonna say like, the mindset is like you're taking money away from the companies, but I mean, I'm positive like somebody saw Homegirls. I kind of wanted to do a Pokimane deep dive because I'm sure there's a million people that aren't familiar with the type of content that they do, but we'll save that for another time. I'm sure there are some people in that hopped in there and they saw that they were streaming it, and like there, I don't know if any of us saw it. I know I didn't, but they were probably providing some commentary, and then they might have been pumped to go back and watch it for themselves. So there is that thought process of like a larger person broadcasting something puts a battery in other people's back to go watch it for themselves, which can bring more traction to that platform or that company.
Or they could keep just watching it on her stream.
Yeah, but I mean, not everybody likes to. Not everybody, even if a lot of people don't necessarily watch what the streamer's watching because they super love it. Sometimes they just like the way the streamer commentary, or just like, you know, the vibe of watching it with a billion people together.
True.
What do you think, Wes? You have any hot takes on this?
Not really. I mean, I'm pretty sure that all these, like you said, it's a legal issue, and all these channels and shows have legal backing to say that, you know, you can't broadcast, or you can't do this, or you can't do that. So I get it, and it's public, and yeah. So I understand why it happened. I don't know. And how do these work? By the way, like, they stream it and the users just chat about it? Are they chatting about it? Like, are they speaking about it while it's happening? Or
you do not sound like you were born in the 90s. Ace, break it down. Break it down for the old timer.
Yeah, basically, that's what it is. The streamer is watching it, they're commenting on it.
Verbally.
Yeah, exactly. Sometimes they'll pause it. Yeah.
And that's how like a lot of streamers get away with it too, because like there is that whole thing. Because like you can go on YouTube right now and you can go watch like somebody do a review of Avatar or whatever the respective show is. It's like some loophole about like you're breaking down the content and adding your own commentary on it, and
you're like transforming it.
that's what I was looking for. Yeah, exactly. I'm not sure if that's what they were doing. Some people just literally just sit down and let the thing play on autoplay and just have a ball. I don't know what they were doing in particular, but yeah. And yeah, that I mean, I've heard TV meta, but I didn't know that's something that somebody writing an article would say. I didn't know, or I knew that it was like it's popular, like it's enjoyable. I didn't know it's big enough to catch the attention of, like I said, art publication. And yeah, I mean, I'm in full transparency. I do watch a lot of like Twitch streamers, and like some of them do this type of thing where they'll watch the show and comment on it. So I kind of like look at this from like a lot of aspects of it. And I was talking with Ace about like the little, like, sometimes a lot of things that streamers can do to like still do this but not get caught. Because like another thing like streamers like to do is like they like to play music during their streams, or like they're playing a game or whether they're just talking. But it's the same rules apply. Like you can't just stream music because that label will come after you or whoever owns the music. So there are like there are different tactics that streamers use to, you know, still be able to play the music, but it's not traceable. So they won't get caught up. And you know what's super crazy? Like a lot of streamers are very paranoid about this, and some streamers won't let even like a beat play in the background. Some streamers like are very like cautious of this. And I was watching this one streamer the other day. I mean, we all know like video games sometimes like have music, like they get the license for music.
Oh yeah.
They muted the stream during the times where like the game was playing music, just in case like DMCA can still come after you. Which I don't know how that were like the legal implications of that. Like if I'm playing a game but the game is playing music, like I don't own the rights to music. The game owns the rights to music, so like do I get in trouble for that? Like some people are.
Yeah, the Guardians of the Galaxy game that came out last year.
Yeah, that's an example.
It has it has sections where they'll play like popular 80s songs during like boss fights. And there's actually a streamer mode in the game where it won't play those songs.
What if I wanted to play Burnout?
Oh yeah, Burnout, yeah.
Man.
Yep, you be running the risk.
Yeah. Oh man, I think I heard of that, but isn't that kind of crazy? Like game developers are modifying their games now to be able to suit the needs of like streamers and gamers and stuff. That's crazy.
Yeah, that's wild.
And it's just, and the crazy part for me is just like how much times have changed. Like you can go on YouTube and you can see a full playthrough of any game, and they're not cutting out the music. Like people have been doing that since YouTube existed, but as times change, you just cannot do all the things you could. I don't know. It's just interesting.
To be honest, this got me wondering what the legal not implications, but whatever. How do we stream games? Like, why isn't there an issue with that?
I think somebody was talking about. I don't remember what they were saying. The streamer I was listening to. I think, and it kind of goes back to what I was saying. Like game developers, in theory, probably could go after people. It's just that they and I don't know per se. This is just the thought process. They have the notion that by seeing somebody else play the game, more people will be compelled to play the game, opposed to everyone just watching somebody play and not playing it for themselves. So
interesting.
But,
yeah, I mean that's what the platform is based on. So
exactly.
It's gotta be decent. Like,
and
we have to have thought about that.
Yeah. So maybe that doesn't transfer over 1-to-1 when it comes to like movies and shows, but hey man, yeah, I don't know. Sound like the moral of the story is you just gotta be careful if you're a streamer. That's just the bottom line, because there are some entities that people just don't like to mess with, and I don't know about in the world or just in our society. I don't know if these are the top three, but these are the top three I hear a lot. It's the IRS, it's the FCCC or FCC, and DMCA. Those organizations, you don't play around with them. They are organized crime. And they will come after you and take everything you own and then some. So you just don't mess with them. Yeah, that's really the bottom line. But I do hope that, like, you know, if there is some change or some balance that can come to this, because, like you said, it is somewhat it can be very enjoyable to just watch somebody else watch something and hear their commentary on it. And if you do take that away, then how far do you go? So I just hope balance can come with it. Obviously, don't just boot up your Twitch and then play a show and don't talk or don't even be in the picture. But you know, so some balance. I don't know. I'm not the one that's gonna be doing it, so it means nothing to me. But salute to streamers, and thereby salute to Pokimane and the Pokimane community. I think that's all the topics. Salute to us. That wasn't bad. If there's nothing else that we wanted to touch on topic wise, let's get to the music. Song selections of the week. Okay, and now we're actually back. Good records. As always, the list of records and the playlist will be in the description below. And also, I want to start posting that separately, so I gotta make sure I remember to do that. Because some people just like listen to new music. But all the same, what else? How do we do this podcast thing? I forgot. It's so unprofessional. I know. Is there anything coming up in the future that we're looking forward to? Still the beginning of the year, so it might be nothing or it might be a lot.
Arcane season 2. I'm just joking.
Did they announce it? I know it was kind of popping.
They did announce season 2, but
it's probably not gonna come out this year. But
there are games that are supposed to come out. Was Bayo supposed to come out this year?
Bayo 3, probably.
I think it is, yeah.
Games suck though. Not that game, but games in just in total. Oh, that reminds me. We bumped into that conversation of the not the rise, but how there are a good portion of people, especially men, playing video games these days.
Oh yeah.
And how there also is a decline in I guess I'll just say sexual or there's a lot of sexual inactivity in males these days, and my conspiracy theory brain may or may not think that those things may be linked, but maybe that's just a topic for another time. I asked the question on Twitter and I got some responses, so it was kind of interesting.
Did anybody cite COVID, or was it before that?
It started. I mean, let's be clear. If you were to look at male inactivity throughout history, you may or may not be surprised. But the thing is, it hasn't decreased as much for females since COVID started. So.
What? Wait, isn't that impossible?
Always remember, more females are active than males.
All right, yeah, we're gonna have to discuss this another time. This isn't. It's literally.
Do you get it, Wes, or are people just tweaked out here?
You leave it alone.
You guys know the answer. You're just not putting it one and one together. It's fine. But it has nothing to do with nothing. What I'm looking forward to is listening to the That Weeknd album. I did buy it, but I didn't get a chance to listen to it. But yeah, the Weeknd album. That's a great way to start the year. Admittedly, I did hear a little bit of one record, and it did sound kind of like disco-y. So I don't know if the entire album is going to be reflective of that, but it's fine. I'm still pumped for a Weeknd.
Yeah, it's been straight weeks of no new music for me, so I don't know what's going on.
And if there's nothing else that we're looking forward to, oh yeah, the quote. I got one for this week. I don't know if we've been providing one. Oh yeah, no, Ghost did actually have a good one a podcast or two ago. This one is by the late great Jazz Water, aka Jazz Fly. And I think it was like a tweet. What they said: you can be great or you can be safe. Nothing wrong with either one, but you can't be both at the same time. And on this podcast, we definitely kind of bumped into the conversation of like,
Ghost is gonna be safe.
I'm gonna be both.
You can't. But we bumped into the conversation of like things that people do in order to like achieve success, or what you have to do, the risk that you potentially have to take in order to achieve success. And yeah, I think that quote is reflective of that ideal or that conversation. But yeah, that's it. Unless I'm missing anything that we're forgetting. It's still the beginning of the year, so and this is the first one since we talked about like the end of the year stuff. So since they're like coming back to your job after vacation, you can be a little slack off of it.
I think that's it.
Got it. And if that is it, then as always, I'm gonna give thanks to y'all for coming on here and doing this podcast thing. I think we're definitely getting like, let me not talk because we've been dealing with some technical issues too. But regardless, and definitely thank you and greatly appreciate any and all listeners. Lord's will continue to grow this podcast and audience and everything like that. And we hope, through this podcast and listen to our, talk and discussion about these stories and topics, that you gain a new perspective, or maybe learn something new, or maybe you just find it entertaining. And if you experience none of that, then all we have to say to you is be warmed and be filled. Thank you. Good night.